Hey y'all, Mind the Monsters, Sunshine here. So it's 12:30 a.m. on August the 7th, 2023. I should probably be in bed right now, but I got my blood pressure up just a little bit. Well, got my blood pressure up just a whole lot. So the face that you guys see here on the screen, this is Oakley Carlson. She's not got near as much coverage as she should have, but just knowing the majority of the community, I'm sure that she will start getting some coverage, which is good because stories like these need to be put out. There's been an update in her case. Towards the end of this video, I am also going to mention another little angel that needs some coverage. Big shout out to JUJU's Rabbit Hole and Nonnie of 7 that I've pretty much blew the top off my head tonight and was very upset. And big shout out to Rebel as well for speaking that baby's name. But we're going to start this video out with Miss Oakley Carlson. Many of you guys that have followed Oakley's case know that she's missing out of Washington State. Her monsters were not mother and father. They were monsters. So tonight we're going to talk about mothers that are monsters. So what I want to show you guys, I did get this from Twitter, because as many of you guys know that a lot of my cases come from Twitter. I'm not a fan of Facebook due to all the drama and everything that takes place over there. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust myself here. Alright. So, missing girl Oakley Carlson kept locked in a cell under the stairs. New court docs reveal. Grays Harbor County, Washington. Jordan Bowers is scheduled to appear in court Monday morning in Grays Harbor County to be sentenced after she accepted a last-minute plea deal in the identity theft case not linked to her missing daughter, Oakley Carlson. Bowers and her ex-husband, Andrew Carlson, are the prime suspects in the disappearance of 6-year-old Oakley Carlson. She was seen last February 2021. Last seen in February 2021. I apologize, guys. I'm exhausted. But I really felt like it was important to get this out. Recently, court documents showed that prior to her disappearance, Oakley was kept locked in a cell underneath the stairs. When her sister was interviewed by investigators looking for Oakley, she told them that Oakley had started a house fire with her mother's torch and was subsequently beaten for it. She also told them that Oakley was under her mother's bed in the woods. That is one of the details mentioned in the Washington Court of Appeals opinion published this month involving the release of the Department of Children's, Youth, and Families records regarding Oakley and her siblings to the Gray Harbors County Sheriff's Office. Jordan had tried to block the release of the dependency and the juvenile court records of the Gray Harbors County Sheriff's Office, who requested them in an effort to find information to locate Oakley. The juvenile court specified that it was releasing the records an emergent basis of locating Oakley Carlson, who remained missing and was extremely endangered. So this is 30 pages long. We're going to come back to this. In the previous Fox 13 news coverage, we reported that Oakley's sister would later tell Grays Harbor court investigators that Bowers told her not to talk about Oakley, adding that Oakley had gone out into the woods and been eaten by wolves. If you followed her case, you know about this. If you haven't, welcome to a graphic, disgusting parents. In the court ruling, her sister confirmed that another sibling's statements regarding the mother of physical abuse of Oakley and that Oakley was not safe in her mother's care. Fox 13 News recently interviewed Jamie Jo Hiles, Oakley's foster mother, who raised her before the DCYF forced her to give Oakley back to Jordan and Andrew Carlson. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to say if you don't follow Jamie Jo, follow her. She's amazing. She's done interviews. She has been the biggest advocate for Oakley. Complete failure on the damn state. The state should have never, ever let this baby go back. Their stupid revamping or whatever it's called, bringing kids back with their parents. If they're drug addicts and they got their kids taken away from them because they're drug addict dirtbags that don't care about their kids, don't give their damn kids back to them. And I mean no harm to drug addicts. 22 years recovered. So, again, the state I'm going after, not addicts. Okay, we'll continue. Both of them served time in jail, exposing their other children to meth. But Carlson was released. They pleaded guilty to child endangerment with a controlled subjects. Neither was cooperated with investigators to help find Oakley, others saying that they lost track of her. When questioned by a police officer, the parents reported that they had lost track of Oakley between 5 and 10 days prior, late in November of 2021. Carlson then filed a formal missing persons report early December 2021. That was 10 months after anyone reported seeing the girl. I don't feel good about knowing that Andrew is free, said Howes. He is out in the Wenatchee living a good life, and Jordan is going to serve time and then she's free. Where does that put Oakley? Where does that put her siblings? There is currently an $85,000 reward raised by a community for anyone who can lead investigators to Oakley. The appeals court upheld the decision to release the records of the sheriff's office proposing the aiding of investigation of Oakley's disappearance. However, they ruled that the court aired the released records involving Oakley's siblings, that the case was open for abandonment with that sibling, but that's not why the sheriff said that they are asking for them. So they should have not been released. Same with the other sibling. Because DC's investigation was on the basis of a records release. Same with the other sibling. We affirm the court orders. Okay, this just goes on to talk about juvenile records. Okay, so that's not what I want to read, you guys. This is what I want to read. So I downloaded this, but I'm going to see if I can't just read it from here. Should let me open it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Give me just a second. Okay, so let me go over here. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to bring Oakley's photo back up. Then I'm going to go over here. My computer is a little overworked, so it's running a little slow. Thank you for everybody being here. I appreciate it. 5-year-old Oakley went missing when the Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office filed several emergency motions seeking access to the dependency of the court records. I'm not going to read all that. It just talks about the court records being unsealed. We remand for the trial and ordering, and this just keeps going. This is not what I want. JB is the mother of BBT, born in 2012, DC, born in 2015, Oakley Carlson, born in 2016, JC, born in 2019. AC is the father of DC, OC, and JC. The Department of Children, Youth, and Families have been involved with the family since April 2013. Since 2013, the department received 11 intakes on the family, which have been screened for allegations of domestic violence, physical abuse, parental drug use, medical neglect. When the intake is screened in, the department conducts an investigation based on allegations of clerk's paperwork. The parties briefing the juvenile. Okay. Okay, I was reading down through there. Okay. This is where I'm actually going to start. The sheriff's office interviewed BBP and DC as a part of their investigation. DC stated that OC had started a house fire with her mother's torch and subsequently was beaten for it. DC also reported that OC was under her mother's bed in the woods. Reported JC's dependency position is not part of the records for this court. That all 4 children were home at the time of the fire and that everyone made it out of the house except Oakley Carlson. I'm just going to say juvenile sibling. Additionally reported that the mother physically abused Oakley Carlson. JC Oakley Carlson was kept in a locked cell underneath the stairs. Confirmed BBP statements regarding the mother's physical abuse of OC and DC further stated that OC and DC were not safe in her mother's care. They obtained search warrants for the family property for OC. The sheriff's office also contacted the relatives of a former foster parent for the whereabouts. No one had any information. This goes on to talk about the motions, dependency, unsealed the private records, physical abuse. Time is crucial and of the essence in obtaining possible information for the investigation by law enforcement to locate. The sheriff's office cited RCW, which provides that the records be released for the purpose of investigating a child fatality, child abuse, criminal neglect cases, and the well-being of a child. The sheriff's office supported its motion that unseal the records of all 3 children where ejaculation provided the information implicating her parents in the disappearance of Oakley Carlson. The declaration describes the evidence that DC had been deprived of essential medications for several months, asserted this constituted criminal abandonment of the dependent person. The declarification also emphasized that Oakley Carlson was missing and no family members could give information about her whereabouts at the time of the essence because they were still of hope that Oakley might be found unharmed. At the hearing, the sheriff's office clarified the dependency records. The sheriff's office stated that they were seeking records under the shortening time because Oakley Carlson had not been yet located. So the search was urgent and pending abandonment of criminal charges, verbatim of the rep. The sheriff's office explained they anticipated the dependency of the records could lead to enough information of further people, places, and events that led to Oakley Carlson's location. The sheriff's office confirmed that the records would implicate purposes only of the third party. The department did not oppose the motion at the short time. Indeed, either to join the sheriff's office wrote the motion to records or file in its own motion. The department explained that the sheriff's office was a juvenile justice care agency, a proper agency reverse the records. The mother opposed the sheriff's office. Okay, so this is just going on to where she didn't want it unsealed. I was looking for something specifically because I was scanning over this earlier. It is still talking about the unsealing. Most of this is just talking about them unsealing. Purposes of investigation. Okay. It might have been in the article what I'm looking for. Sorry, guys. I'm not seeing it. I'm going to scroll down and see if I can find, because this is all talking about unsealing the transcripts. Okay. Still just more talking about unsealing. Petition for information. Department of Broad Reading. Okay, that's not where I've seen it. So let me go back over here. Did I miss it when I read through this? Okay, so I don't see it now. I had about 15 tabs open. And they may have updated this. Okay, so somewhere in here, it talks about the house fire. And it said that everybody made it out safely except Oakley Carlson. And I really wanted to show that. But I'm not seeing it on here. And like I said, I'm exhausted and it's late. So I'm sorry, guys. But I did want to get this out there because I feel like it's important to share that there's been an update in her case. All right, guys. Now I'm going to change gears a little bit. So you guys know that I'm originally from Kentucky. And let me tell you what. I was so mad tonight. I don't think I've been that mad in a long time. But the little girl that I'm going to pull up here on your screen, let me scroll down a little bit so we can get her beautiful little face in there. You guys see this baby? Her name is Elena Rosalie Hembree. This is her obituary. And I'm not going to go through all these names and everything. This is public knowledge, so it's not doxing anybody. But you guys see this precious little girl right here? This article has some misinformation in it, but I will make sure that I do correct the misinformation. But again, I want you to go watch JUJU's Rabbit Hole. She did an amazing, her and Nonnie did an amazing live tonight. This is Rockcastle County, Kentucky. It did not happen in Rockcastle, so right there, that's wrong. Unless this guy's in Rockcastle. So like I said, this is not news. This is someone's website. But I am going to pull the information from here because some of it is actually valid. But I also want to show this website because I'd like to show what happens when misinformation gets spread. So let me go ahead and make myself T90 over here. All right. So you guys know how we all talk about how misinformation hurts cases? This is a Kentucky woman arrested in Bell County, Kentucky in connection to the death of her 17-month-old child who died following a assault. Residents in the city were horrified, demanded proper justice. So you see this here? You see this on your screen? This is not a mother. This is a monster. She is pure evil. This is misinformation. This is misinformation. The mother gets out of jail on a $1 million bond. That is not correct. It is a damn lie. I called tonight and I spoke to Mackenzie in the jail that she's being housed in. And she has no bond. Her charges can be found on the Kentucky website. I'm going to give you her charges. She has no bond. I will have her excuse me, court date, hopefully tomorrow morning. This is Erica Lee Lawson that you see on your screen. Called the jail myself. She's not been released from jail, so this is misinformation. I also called the phone number that's located here on this website to let him know that he's spreading misinformation, and it hurts cases. This is according to police officials. The horrifying incident started when the child was brought to Middlesboro Appalachian Regional Hospital Friday night after sustaining several injuries. The child was flown to the Children's Hospital in Knoxville, Tennessee due to extended severity of her injuries. Police say the medical staff tried to stabilize the baby girl, but she did not survive as the toddler passed away Sunday night. Middlesboro police opened an investigation following the child's death and interviewed Erica Lawson concerning the death of her daughter, who was responsible for the incident of the death of the little girl. Erica Lawson was arrested by the Middlesboro police and has been charged with the following: manslaughter in the second degree, failure to report child dependent neglect, abuse first offense, criminal abuse in the first degree under a child of under 18, and wanton endangerment of the first degree. This is misinformation. She does not have a bond. Called the jail myself tonight. She does not have a bond. I was livid when I found out that she had a bond. She does not have a bond. JUJU got the information from this website, thinking that this was a news website. I vetted this website. This is not news. This is just like my website. You can go on Wix. Anybody can make a website. Okay? So I did want to show this, so that way if any of you guys run across this guy's website, he's full of horse shit on some of this. Because this monster right here is still sitting her little happy ass in jail. Just to give you guys a little idea what happened to this baby. She was brutally beaten. DNA from several males were found inside her. She was located to be living in a trap house. So I'm from Kentucky, so I openly can say Commonwealth is a damn joke. Law enforcement needs to get off their ass. Close down these damn trap houses. Take your ass in and search this trap house. How many more kids are in there getting assaulted by grown-ass drug addict men? Y'all want to go around and y'all want to pull people over for speeding? Do your damn job. How about you save some of these kids? How many babies have we seen this year murdered in the state of Kentucky by their parents? Brutally. Thrown on the side of the damn road in a suitcase. The list keeps on going on and on. It infuriates the hell out of me. Monsters, not mothers. I buried my daughter. Do you know what I would do to hold her in my arms right now? And these monsters, they don't even care. They don't even want their babies. You don't even deserve your babies. You should all be ashamed of yourself. If you're a drug addict and you don't want your kid, take it to a fire station. Take it to an emergency room. Take it to a church. Give it to a family member. And I'm not attacking the family. I'm saying this on a general purpose. For general purposes. If you have a drug addict in your family and they've got kids, do the children a service. And I know you might not want to get any of that on you because, they're an addict. Go check on the kids. Pull your head out of your ass. Because what happens whenever they're beaten to death and used as a toy for some sick drug addict? Some sick perv. Then what do you want to sit around and talk about how sad you are? And no. If you see something, say something. I'm freaking livid. I will be on the phone with the governor's office in the morning. I'm on a damn roll this week. I've been on the phone with the governor's office and legislation here in Florida all week long. Emails, every damn thing else. If you don't think for a second I'm calling the state of Kentucky and I'm going to raise 9 kinds of hell, you're wrong. Because yes, I do work with families, but I do a whole lot of phone calls. You want to know what you can do to help? If you're going to sign a petition, sign a local petition. You want to actually do something to help? Call your governor. If you live in the state of Kentucky, call your local legislation and let them know how you feel about this disservice of the local law enforcement. When I pulled this little town up on my map, I really was ashamed to be from Kentucky when I saw it was close to Harlan. And I told everybody in chat, well, it's the armpit of Kentucky, so I'm really not surprised. Do you know why we get a bad name for being barefoot and pregnant and ignorant? Because of shit like this. Justice for Elena. Her father speaks at memorial after mother arrested for abuse of the toddler's death in Middlesboro. Nobody wants to have to bury their child. Nobody wants to have to put their kid down, the father said. Justice for Elena, and that's it. Get justice for my daughter. And we're not going to listen to their ad. I might have to sit here and let it play, but we're not going to listen to their ad. Sorry. Well, and of course I closed it, so. I was so friggin' mad the night when I was in JUJU's live. I just disgusted. I'm just disgusted. What the hell is wrong with these parents? I would do anything to hold my daughter or my son. I've lost 2 kids. Buried 2 of my babies. Cremated 2 of my babies. Monsters.
To a 17-month-old child. Investigators in includes a memorial. Video tonight includes a memorial to a 17-month-old child. Investigators in Middlesboro, Kentucky say she died after suffering severe abuse. Her mother is in custody facing a charge tied to the death of little Elena. Neighbors are calling for justice, and for the first time the little girl's father is speaking publicly. 10 News reporter Maria Guzman joins us with his reaction. Maria?
John, this is a case that has shaken an entire community, and we see that from tonight's memorial. And in just less than 24 hours since this case became public, loved ones gathered outside of City Hall to remember baby Elena. On Friday, Elena was taken to the hospital. She had been sexually assaulted and severely injured. And 2 days later, she died from her injuries at the hospital. Tonight, we hear from the girl's dad for the first time.
Pause for fair use. 2 days. So this poor baby laid in a hospital for 2 days and suffered at UT in Knoxville. Right off rip, I don't know much about UT Knoxville, but I am going to say that this baby should have been life-flighted to Vanderbilt, because we all know Kentucky doesn't have a decent damn hospital to save their soul. She should have been taken to Vanderbilt. I don't know shit about UT, but I can tell you Vanderbilt is phenomenal.
She was my world. She was my first, my only. I hate have to do this, but this type of thing can happen. As you can see, it's touched everybody. We're the only voice she's got as a community, not just as me, just as a community.
Now, the child's mother is 21-year-old Erica Lawson. Now, she remains in custody tonight. Right now, she faces 4 different charges from manslaughter to abuse, and the city's mayor speaking tonight to the family.
I cannot imagine the pain you're going through. You're going through something no father's ever. Man, you're going through something no father should ever have to go through. No parent should ever have to go through the death of a child.
Again, I have to pause for fair use, and I am going to say, if you guys have a memorial service like this, please do the environment a favor. Don't release full balloons. Please don't. They end up in the ocean, and they kill sea turtles. Go get paper lanterns. You can generally buy them at any fireworks store. They're paper, they burn up, and they don't pollute the environment, and they don't kill the animals in the oceans.
Officials say the girl's uncle did report signs of abuse weeks ago, but police say they couldn't find the child. Now, the chief of police did.
Okay, so if it was reported, why the hell didn't they do their damn job? 2 weeks ago it was reported. This baby's life could have been saved. But because law enforcement is too damn lazy to get off their dead asses and do their job, another child has suffered at the hands of a monster.
Admit there was prior abuse reported to them. As for where this case will go next, right now the mother is in custody, but police say more people could be charged. Now with the evidence they have, police say a male suspect was also involved. Now, another community event is set for Saturday night outside of City Hall at 9. John.
We'll continue to follow this. Thank you, Maria.
The first day of school makes me feel excited.
This article goes on to say that somebody could be that sick out there and let this go on, said Kaylee Ayers from the Middlesboro Police Department. I've seen some kids like that, but not at this age. Prosecutors confirmed that Elena died Sunday night. Citations show, make sure I'm not muted, I'm not. I'm so livid right now. Citations show that the girl's 21-year-old Erica Lawson was arrested. She is being held at the Bell County Detention Center. She's not now. Now she is in Clay County. Because that's where I called tonight to get the information on whether or not she had a bond and if she had been released. Lawson was charged with manslaughter, criminal abuse of a child under 12 years old, failure to report child abuse, wanton endangerment. Authorities said that she could face more charges. In my time with the Commonwealth, this is one of the most severe cases of abuse, specifically because it's a 17-month-old baby at the time, Ayers said. Police said the child's father, Trey Hembree, was not charged with any crime, saying the two were not together. Police said they're expecting a second arrest, saying they are working on a possible take of an unnamed suspect into custody. Police said the girl's uncle went to authorities several weeks ago, suspecting that someone burned her. However, the police couldn't find the kid, and the uncle didn't know where the kid was at the time. The community held a memorial for the girl. Showed up to support on Tuesday, which was attended by the father. People prayed together, released balloons for Elena, with some holding up signs that said "Justice for Elena." Middlesboro Mayor Boone Bowling got up on stage with Hembree and his family, offering condolences to the community, saying they were in good hands. I cannot imagine the pain you're going through because you're going through something no father should ever go through. Bowling has fought back his tears. You're going through something that the father should never have to go through as a parent. No parent should ever have to through the death of a child. Man, I'm sorry. It breaks my heart. Hembree said that he wants the community to focus on one thing, getting justice for his daughter. Nobody wants to have to bury their child. Nobody wants to have to put their kid down. He said, justice for Elena. Okay, so I'm not hating on the father, but I really don't like that. Put her down. She's not an animal. She was a child. So you might not want to bury your child, but not necessarily put your child down. So this is News Channel 10. Big shout out to them. Probably going to have...
I cannot imagine the pain you're going through. You're going through something no father's ever... Man, you're going through something no father should ever have to go through. No parent should ever have to go through the death of a child. Man, I'm sorry. It breaks my heart. And I'm going to keep it short, but man, I promise you, you're in good hands. And I know how good our department is. And we will continue to do it. You know, this is just an unforeseeable thing in the community. And I hate this is what we're gathered here today. It is so good to see all of our community out here gathered to support this young man and this family. So thank you all for being here.
They're going to have an event here, so if you would come out.
Nobody wants to have to bury their child. Nobody wants to have to get down.
Everybody that knew about it had partied it.
Get judged behavior.
Because an instant child has lost their lives due to everybody failing to do something about this. It's not gone down.
Well, seeing how many people showed up has got to be a blessing to the family that the community has their back and supports them.
So I'm going to pause this for fair use and say it's a damn shame that the community has more support than law enforcement does.
You know, I didn't really have any kind of message or anything to portray. Just the Lord moved upon my heart Monday morning, and you know that we needed to come together as a community to console and to lift up and encourage the family, and pretty much send out a challenge to the community that if they see something that ain't right, say something. Let people know that this ain't adding up, this is not going on right. So we just want people to be more alert.
And that's what we preach. See something, say something, watch, listen, and speak. You can anonymously call. A lot of law enforcement, that's credible law enforcement, has tip lines that you can text anonymously. You can call 911. You don't have to give them your name. Tell them why you're calling.
People to be more engaged, to know their neighbor, to know what's going on in the house across the street. Be nosy. You know, we don't want this to ever happen again in this community or anywhere else.
The happiest thoughts.
Please be nosy. You know, we used to call my grandmother a possum because you'd see her poking out the window and looking out to see what everybody was doing. But you know what? I lived in one of the safest neighborhoods you could ever raise a child in.
The rest of my life, I couldn't tell you. It's not even hit me yet. I don't think I'm even learning how to cope with it yet, how to grieve yet. I've not had 5 minutes to really grieve. But you gotta stay strong with everybody else until we get the right justice for my daughter. Justice for Elena, that's it. Get justice for my daughter.
Thank you so much.
Precious little baby. Look at that. Such a happy little girl. Community leaders said that people need to speak out to suspect someone is being abused, especially a child. What is disheartening is the public's response, said Lynn Fugate, a Kentucky attorney, or Fugate, I think is how you say that name. It is a child support. Report it. Don't withhold it. Don't go on. Report it. Call someone. Do something because it's very important. A different outcome could have been done in this case. And I'm going to pull her little picture back up here. So that way her little picture's on the screen. Y'all see this beautiful angel? Y'all see this beautiful little angel? She got her wings. She got her wings way too soon. She'll never get to go to kindergarten. She'll never get to play outside again. She'll never get to grow up and have babies of her own. Because she had a monster instead of a mother. Again, I'm going to say if you have a drug addict in your family, if you have somebody that's mentally struggling in your family, reach out to them. Go knock on the door. I'm so livid with law enforcement right now, I could scream. What'd y'all do? Go over there? Knock on the door? Oh, she wasn't there. They told you she wasn't there, so y'all just left? This could have been prevented 2 weeks ago. Oakley Carlson could have been prevented. But the state saw fit to give her back to her monsters and rip her out of the arms of a loving family. If you didn't want this little girl, why didn't you take her to the daddy that's screaming and crying on the news? Why didn't you give her to one of her grandmothers, grandfathers, somebody, family, anybody? Harmony Montgomery. There's another one that's completely failed by the state. Her monster father's fixing to come up again in court. Share her name. Share her story. Call the governor's office. Tell them how you feel. What if this was your grandbaby? What if this was your niece? What if this was your cousin? The graphic details to this case will make you absolutely turn your stomach. Apparently there's a Facebook group. Y'all know how I feel about Facebook. I generally stay out of the groups because there's a lot of drama that starts there. Families have high emotions when something like this happens. Things are said. The Facebook groups are great for awareness when they're kept for awareness. I'm just going to ask one last time. If you see something, say something. It takes a village to raise a child. Watch, listen, and speak. Be a change. Be a voice. Be a voice for the voiceless. Because like I said, Elena earned her wings too soon. If you need help, there are resources. In my description, you will find the link to my website. On my banner on my channel, you will find the link to my website. It is full of resources. As always, guys, thanks for watching.